That's Kings of Leon. If you haven't seen their documentary yet, you should check it out. It's called Talahena Sky, from when they go back and they hang out, family reunion out in Backwoods, Tennessee. Speaking of Backwoods, no, now I've got Brad Schultz from Cage the Elephant.
Come on,
dude.
there are 30,000 people in our town.
Bowling Green. I was gonna say Bowling Green's a really. It's not a small town.
Not totally backwards.
No, would you guys ever do a documentary?
You
want to see?
I think we'd be too scared to see ourselves like in retrospect.
It would be weird. It would be either like, well, the Kings of Leon thing is absolutely. If you haven't got a chance, you got to watch it on the bus, because it's one of those things where you can't take your eyes off of it, because it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But would you want that curtain pulled back on the band?
Yeah. No, I mean, I just always have this constant fear of like me being the person that they would be like, man, I really hate that guy.
Right. All of a sudden, you turn into Bono from U2.
Yeah, like, well, I'm really a nice guy, I promise.
No. So Jared is your drummer, the drummer that won't die apparently, because the guy has been ill. His appendix burst when you guys were out on the West Coast tour of the Foo Fighters tour, and then what happened? Dave Grohl ended up playing drums with you guys.
Yeah. Dave called us up and he was like, well, I heard you guys are looking for a drummer, and it's kind of like that moment where you're like, oh, he is gonna ask it. He is gonna ask it, and he's like,
because you guys didn't go and solicit him, right? You guys were going, how are we gonna? Do you guys think about dropping off the tour? Or?
No, we actually, I mean, there was a moment where, our tour manager was kind of like, I don't know what we're gonna do. We might have to drop out of this, and we were like trying to we were scrambling for anything, and our monitor guy is actually a pretty decent drummer, and so he started like practicing the songs early in the morning, and so he played a whole show with us,
right,
in his underwear, in which his mom got mad at him. No joke. She saw the picture, but anyways, that's another story.
Wow.
But so
where's that? That needs to be on YouTube. I saw some Cage stuff is on YouTube. We need to see that on YouTube.
Yeah. Dave was like, hey, would you all want me to come? Is it cool for me to sit in? We were like, of course. Like, you didn't have to ask. Just push Jay off the set and just start playing.
I mean, I saw the YouTube footage when Dave comes out on stage. I mean, like, it was like all of a sudden the band seemed like all of a sudden it was like a shot of adrenaline for the band, and it was the crowd just obviously just was on fire at that point. And
yeah, we all had googly eyes at that point. So we were so wrapped up in like the moment of like, I mean, I know this sounds like, oh my God, girly little fan stuff, but like,
right.
But like literally, I don't think I looked at the crowd one time. I was like facing Dave the whole time.
Now, I mean, when you're a drummer, do you have to come in? Do you have to make do you have to learn the songs or the fills?
I don't know, because I'm not a drummer.
So
no,
right, you know what I mean, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
did you have to go over any riffs with him and say this is kind of where we go with this, or?
No, he actually practiced it on his bus. I don't know if he like had like a drum pad, like a practice pad or something, and he just listened to the album. Came in, we did like a little kind of, I don't want to call it a rehearsal, it was just really sound check, and we went through the songs one time each, and Dave killed it.
Wow.
So he's amazing, man. He's a cool dude.
And
definitely, I had a lot of respect for him before we went on the tour, but definitely now I have a different respect for him.
Well, I was gonna say, like, its story's interesting because you guys kind of you guys were in England or something, and then like wrote a love letter or something to the Foo Fighters, and then they actually asked you to come out on tour with them after that.
Yeah. We were at a festival in England called Radio 1's Big Weekend or whatever, and and Dave the Foo Fighters were the surprise band there, and we couldn't stay to watch their set, so we thought it'd be funny just to write them a letter and be like, we love your band, And
it's a good way to get on tour, though.
Yeah. And it went something like, Dear Foo Fighters, we love your band. Sadly, we have to miss your show because we have an evil tour manager who, if we don't do everything that he says, will burn us on the pee hole with a lit cigarette.
Oh, he's that type of manager. Okay.
Yeah. And so we left that one, and then we saw him at another festival, and he came and checked some of our songs out, and asked us to go on tour.
That's really cool. Now, you guys have played Milwaukee a few times, right? You guys have played the FM 1021 Summerfest stage. Like, I think you played at least once, if not twice. And then last year you were with the Black Keys and Florence and the Machines.
Yeah.
Cage the Elephant.
We've done Summerfest like several times.
Yeah, it seems to be a really happening town for Cage the Elephant. A lot of Cage the Elephant fans here.
Oh, cool. I mean, it's you know, we've had good support here, so you know we're really thankful of that. You know, you never know going from city to city how it's going to be, but Milwaukee's definitely a town that we look forward to coming to.
Do you, Cage the Elephant, you guys seem to have a very unique sound. It's not, it doesn't really, we were talking about this a little bit off the air, it doesn't really seem to fit into any real genre of music. You guys just kind of go out and do your thing. What's the focus of the band like moving forward? I think that you guys have really been pushing yourselves as far as musically lately.
Yeah, I think, you know, we're going to continue to, you know, we never want to repeat ourselves, and I think we learned that on the first album. We had written probably 50 songs for the second album, and we scrapped them because they felt very forced and inside the box of what we expected people to think or expect from Cage the Elephant. And you know, we just weren't happy with it. It didn't have that kind of spark that you get when you feel, you know, like you've written a song that you're happy with. And so we scrapped all those, went to a cabin, and we had a group of songs that we'd all individually been writing. And we'd always joke, you know, this is going to be our side project songs and stuff.
Right.
And so, and I think one of the big things that we learned going through that period is that, you know, we don't have to fit in a certain genre or any kind of, you know, inside the box of anything. We just write songs, and whatever those songs, you know, the songs that we feel good about, whatever those become, you know, is its own thing.
Right. Well, I mean, hopefully much more success like that in the future. Do you guys think you would go back and try to like emulate that again and go back to that same cabin, or do you think you're going to go on to a kind of a different experience for the next album?
You know, I don't know. We've all been writing songs, and that's kind of our main focus right now, just like all individually writing, and then we'll come together somewhere and put them all together. It's probably somewhere, you know, maybe not that same cabin or something, but something that's just away from every other distraction that we, you know, could have. You know, it's just something about going into the woods and, you know, coming out with something. It's right. Like, you know. Well,
you know, like Milwaukee called like July 22nd was like Boney Bear Day. So maybe we can have Cage the Elephant Day if you guys come back here this summer, okay? FM 1021 will make it be Cage the Elephant.
Man,
we will dedicate a day to Cage the Elephant.
That'd be amazing.
Next summer if you guys are back for
All right, we'll do it.
Okay. And by the way, did you get your jacket back? This is Brad from Cage the Elephant. Did you get your jacket back? The sleeper agent has your jacket.
They're holding it ransom. They sent us they tweeted us a pic of my jacket strapped to a chair. I think they're going to try to give me like little clues, you know.
They're a relatively new band. I know how you can get your jacket back. Just a case of PBR, man. That'll do it, okay?
Either that or just take their whole rider away.
Yeah, well, they're on your label. You can just scratch it all off. Brad Schultz, you are with Cage the Elephant. You are playing FM 1021's Big Snow Show tonight with the Joy Formidable and Sleeper Agent. You guys will be on stage at 9:15. Come on down if you haven't been here yet. It's Ian McCain live from Big Snow Show 6 and FM 1021.
Definitely come out early because Sleeper Agent and Joy Formidable are both amazing.
Amazing. Thanks, bud.